Hey everyone, we're here. We're getting ready to start the train up. I got a couple of the Menards buildings there, as you can see. Got them all lit up. Nighttime, it's nighttime out now, so I just put a kind of a muted light back behind. Um, we want you to be able to see the cars and stuff when they come by. We're gonna test out the new track, how I got it all set up today. I was talking about it earlier in the live session there that I really this morning I worked where I had some issues both with radius and with some uneven track. So I worked on that for a couple hours this morning. I got everything pretty well worked out because prior to today I couldn't run 6-axle engines and now I can. So we're just going to let this thing run. We're going to leave this open for you guys to chat back and forth if you want. I'll check in from time to time. I'm going to add cars here and there. I'm going to add a car every time I come up because I want to test and see how it handles adding more and more train length to it. So we will be working on that. I'm just getting things kind of moved out of the way here before I get the engine started up. Tomorrow we'll get the background up, and then we'll put the second track down in the next week for the two main lines. So we can have one going one way and one the other. So I've got some good passenger stuff I want to run at the same time. It doesn't take long for the train to get around. This is a real small loop, so you'll see stuff. You'll see it coming around quite a bit, and then we'll let this one run just as it is for about 15 minutes, and then I'll come in, like I said, and I'll add on a new car and things here and there. I'm going to sit up here for a little bit while we get it rolling, making sure everything's okay, and answering any questions you might have right off the bat. And now tomorrow, remember, we're going to have our live session for sure. We are going to be doing building the N-Scale hotel and then working on the track up here. I want to start really moving fast on this now. I want to have our three main lines, our three N-Scale main lines, running within a week and a half. Everything may not be ballasted yet, but at least it'll be running. So I got started to gather the things I need for the jump track across. I've got all the track, everything there. I just need to get the wood. So anyway, we're going to fire up the HO here, and we're just going to let her go. Tonight we've got, since I can run the 6-axle tonight, we're running, I believe it's an SD70M Union Pacific. I don't think it's a 60, but I think it's a 70. But you'll see it when it comes around. It's got the flag on the side. I also brought up some equipment for runs tomorrow night and the night after. I've got some old F45s. I've got a Burlington Northern, and I've also got a Santa Fe. So each night we'll put on something different, and we will have different cars and things each night. So I'm just going to start testing things. I'm just going to let things roll. And as we start to expand and add in the extra tracks, we'll so over the next week, you're going to see this change quite a bit. And then hopefully by the time we get through the first batch of the HO stuff, I'll have the N-Scale up top done. We'll start doing runs up there. Then we'll just kind of go back and forth. We'll alternate each day or every other day. We'll do HO runs on one day, N-Scale runs on the other. So without further ado, we shall get the HO rolling. Right now we've got 7 cars on it. Got some of my custom weathered gondolas along with that has the hand painted graffiti on it, all done in acrylics. And then we've got some of our odd road cars along with some other ones that we have recently reviewed. And then tonight we'll be adding on the thing we talked about earlier today, which was the brass HO caboose that's custom painted. I know, Santa Fe on you'll see it, Santa Fe on with an HO, with a Union Pacific engine, but that's all right. I'll get a UP caboose eventually. All right, so it'll be coming around here. Hello there. Glad you're joining us. Let's see. I'm just checking all my track work here, making sure everything's rolling over these corrections I made. I had it running for an hour and a half today with no problems. Of course, now that I've said that, I'll probably have issues. just gonna see this running, this train right here running. And like I said, over 15, 20 minutes, we'll add another car on. I just want to see what I can get as far as pulling goes. I may have to swap some things out. I noticed earlier today that the couplers on the green one were high, so I'm a little concerned about that with the way things kind of rock and roll on this right now as I'm in the middle of doing it. Then it might come uncoupled, so we'll see. It's coming around again, so it seems like it's doing all right. Where it's at right now is where it always kept coming uncoupled with the Sklar car. Do what? What state we're in? Wisconsin. We are in Wisconsin. But we travel all over the area. Northern Illinois, all over Illinois. We get into Minnesota, Michigan. I like how those buildings are all light up. We're going to get a few more of those over the next couple of weeks. We'll just start filling in. The track that's behind the camera is what we're really going to start working to start off with. It's the longer straight stretch. So we will be concentrating on that, putting the double main lines in along with the siding, and lining the buildings up, the industries up behind it for cars to switch in and out. And this will just be the wraparound area. Yeah, it seems to be doing okay from this morning. I haven't had it on for about 7 hours now, so nothing seems to have changed much. Hello, glad you joined us. Just testing out cars tonight and just running an engine. I haven't run this engine in over a year. Today is the first time I've run it. Yeah, probably in a year, maybe longer. I just wanted to get up and moving and getting things rolling on it. Back where I was working on the curve today, where I was making it wider, bigger diameter curve, it still hangs up just a little bit. But when I make my adjustments, when I really start putting the double track in and I widen the jump track here, the board, I'll make it a little wider and I'll leave those swinging tracks out a little farther. Once I do that, it should really clear everything up pretty good. So the other cars you'll see tonight, we're going to put the lambs on later. The brass caboose I was talking about, we'll put it on. Yes, I know that won't be accurate with the Union Pacific engine, but that's all right. We're just testing tonight. And then we're going to put the titanium pigment division on. Oh. That was one of my favorite engines this class that this UP is. You probably noticed it doesn't have front handrails. I don't know what happened to them. I looked in the box and they aren't there. And I couldn't find like the pouch anywhere, so I'm going to have to just order a set. I found them already online. So I'll get those in and get them taken care of. I'm gonna go get my tablet, and that way I can keep track of the comments. So we don't have to keep yelling them in. What? Okay, got my tablet. If you have any questions, let me get it opened up here, and then if you have anything you want to ask or comment on, I'll be here for a little bit. And tomorrow's gonna be a pretty fun day, doing lots of projects during our live feed tomorrow. We're gonna be doing, building the N-scale building and working on the track. Hey, Josh, glad you joined us. Those buildings that are there in the background, those are the ones from Menards. I paid $30 for that power plant, the one on the right, and the Tide plant. I think we got it for about the same price, maybe 25. And there's a lot more to it. I just couldn't fit it in the frame. Oh, there will be commercials coming in, advertisement breaks. You won't miss anything. The only thing that may happen is when you come back, there may be a new car on the back end of the train. in the next day or two, I'm going to add I've got some of those Walthers backgrounds that you put up on the wall. I'm going to put one against the wall right here, dress it up a little bit. Yeah. I posted that twice. All right, so after it comes around a couple more times, I'm going to slow it up and add the probably the Lamb's Weston on there. That'll be happening here in a minute. And then we'll come back between the advertisement breaks about 10, 12 minutes, and I'll add on that titanium time. Go around again. And then I'll add that car on. All right, one more time around, and then I'll add that on. I'm going to slow it down here. And we're just I'll get it to pass, and then I'll put the lambs on the end, and then we'll kick it back up. All right, it's on, so we're gonna bring her on around. Dad didn't lock on for some reason, so I'm gonna actually I tried to do it while the train was moving. So I'm gonna stop it, add it to the end and make sure it works. That was probably the problem is the coupler on the one end is way too high. I'll have to adjust that. I just flipped it around and the coupler height on the backside was fine. No, this car's having too many problems. I don't know what the deal is. So I'm gonna take it off. Hadn't tested it prior to, so this is definitely not. I'll put on the titanium pigment. Let's see how that goes. Don't want to have any issues when we head off. We'll see how that does. There we go. Yeah, that titanium seems to be doing better. I'm gonna have to come in and adjust all my coupler heights. These are all cars I bought at shows. So the coupler heights are just kind of all over the place. So we'll get them all adjusted. I'll get the washers or I'll get drop couplers or whatever I need to do, drop or the ones that raise. That lamb is got it. Well, for one thing, it's 60 foot long car. So, it's one of the longest cars there is. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pick out and test another car. Gotta wait for the train to pass me here so I can step over the bridge. I'll slow it down and add it on. Okay, let's see which one we're gonna add. All right, I'm gonna do the Sigco Hybrids hopper. All right. Well, it's got a good coupler height to the next one, to the one in front of it. Now we'll see. I was doing all right. Here it comes. Very good. Okay. We'll let that one go, and then we'll add another one on in a little while. All right, gonna add on another color here. Let me look through and see what we have. I want to test next. All right, got one picked out. So let it come around, stop it. Let's start it slow it down. All right. See how the coupler height is on this one. Make sure they all look like they're matching pretty good. They said I bought a lot. I got a lot of these at shows, so everybody has their own way of doing it. Oh, looks like it's good height. Okay, so here we go. Nice weight in them. As soon as it starts off, they all kind of track backwards. Seems to be tracking good. The new one's the grain train. All right, so we'll put another one on. We're gonna keep adding two, so about another, I don't know, in a little while here, we'll add another one on. I've still got about 5 or 6 I want to test out before I put that brass caboose on there. All right, gonna add another car on here. Take one out of the box. Another one to test. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, another one of these real odd ones. All right, I'll slow it down a sec. This will be an AccuRail kit here. Most of the rest has been Athearn and Roundhouse. So I was gonna flip this around so you could actually see the, let's see, guide sign. There we go. There. All right, let me get the train going again. Check it as it goes over this jump track. So the next new one is the gray on the end. Southern Clay Products, another one of the more unusual ones. All right, put another clear on in a little while. Okay, we're gonna add a new car. Just gotta wait till the train passes over the bridge here, so I can go over it. Take a look and see what we got. Well, that's nice. All right, let's slow it down. We'll stop, add the next one on. It is doing pretty good. Almost got about 12, 15 cars. These are all weighted to NMRA standards. They're all weighing, 5, 6 ounces and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's see how the coupler height is. It's good. All right, powered back up. I'm going to check over here where I've got my little jump track, make sure everything clears okay. Just having the problems with the new car. So here's the new ACF Hopper Golden West Services. So light another car a little bit. All right, time to add another car. Let's see what we got here. All right, I got an air slide. We'll see how that one does. Coupler's good height again. Get started. All right, I'm going to check the jump track. Yep, they're okay. New one's a CPC, corn products, air slide. All right, everybody, I'm back. I think I'm going to skip putting the painted brass caboose on tonight. We'll save that for the next one. Let's see how many cars we wound up putting on here. I don't remember. We started with 6. Got 13 on there now. So we added 7 on, and those cars are really weighted well. Right up to the NMRA standards, so they're pretty heavy. Those engines doing pretty good. 13, and the gondolas obviously don't have any extra weight, so don't have loads in them yet. But the 2 cars right behind the gondola both have decent weight in them, so this is well beyond weights that are normally on this train, on a normal train. So it's not doing too bad. It's actually, if you just think about taking cars out of the box, not doing anything to them, this thing's pulling probably the equivalent of about 30 cars right now with the weight that it's got of each of the cars. So it's not doing bad. I could probably put another easily 10, 15 cars on it before it really starts to bog it down some. So they're doing pretty good. I'm just going to let it run just a little bit more here. And then when I'm done, I'll give you guys a tour of the layout and show you what's upcoming. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to be building, live streaming, and we're going to be building, during the live stream, we're going to be building an N-scale skyscraper. Right now, this is HO that you're watching. So we're going to be building an N-scale skyscraper tomorrow that we 3D printed earlier in the week and got everything sanded on past few days, and everything is ready to go. So tomorrow, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Central Standard Time, we'll be doing that. And of course, it'll be archived and then put into the live section playlist. So you'll have those there so you can view them. I'm just watching it go around. I worked on the track today. If you weren't here earlier, I worked on the track. This track is why we didn't do any of the N-scale track today. I took about 3 hours to get the curve big enough down at the other end so that I could handle the 6-axle trucks on the big engines, the bigger engines. So now that's all done and settled. So the next thing to do is, now that I figured out that this configuration, this benchwork configuration, can handle the 6 axles, I've got to do a few modifications when I can add the second main line. Here I'll be putting the road bed down and then putting the track on top of it, but I know where to go with the track to do the double main line. So we'll be doing that here pretty quick. Then I'll do some scenery in these buildings you see right here. These are those Menards buildings with all the lights, and some of them have movable stuff, animation. So we will be getting some more of those, and we'll be lining them up along the tracks, putting sightings to them and things like that. I'm not going to put a whole lot of build time into buildings for the HO level. We have 2 levels on this layout. This is the HO level, and above is the N-scale. I'm going to show you guys that here pretty quick after we get this wrapped up. So we're just letting it cook around here a little bit. So then tomorrow, after we do the N-scale, we get the bulk of the N-scale skyscraper built. I'm going to go ahead then and finish putting the track down for the 3 main lines that are on the lower part of the upper shelf. I'll be showing you all that here in just a minute or two. So that will all be on the live stream tomorrow. And then Sunday, I've had a number of requests from people to see my cars. So Sunday afternoon, during that live stream, we will be doing painting graffiti. I'll be showing you how to hand paint graffiti on the cars with acrylic paints and just a regular old paintbrush. That's how I do all of my cars. And I'll show you that here in a minute when I get this train stopped. We'll do some close-ups of everything. And that way you can take a look. I just have to prep a car we're doing it. I'll do that tomorrow or Saturday, and then we'll be ready to go on that. So if you've enjoyed watching this today, please do like and subscribe. It does help out. If you have, thank you very much. I've got a little spot over there. I can hear the engine kind of bogged down in the corner. I'm going to have to swing the curve out a little bit more. I'm going to have to add a little bit of bench work over there, a little bit of shelf to the edge so that it'll be able to do it. And then we'll get rid of that. Slow down, and I'll probably add one more feeder power feed over here somewhere on the opposite side. So I'll have 2 power feeds on the HO lower. Up top on the M scale, I'm probably going to do the same thing. I'll probably do 2 power feeds to all 3 main lines, split it apart half and half, and be ready to go. That's about all I'll probably need. And then once I get the DCC in, if I need to add a little bit more, I can, but I think it'll probably be enough. This is not a very large layout, as you probably surmised from just watching how fast the train comes back around. So we got some really neat cars on this and more unusual cars. We've got a lot of things that didn't get a big production run. So you'll see those as we start to do the runs like this. As I've stated, we're going to try to have both levels, the N scale and the HO, completely operational within 2 weeks. The N scale, I'll be able to run 3 trains at a time, and then the HO, we can run 2 once I get the second main line down. So at any given time in here, if I wanted to run them all, I could have 5 trains going, 2 HO and the 3 N, above and below. But we're going to just alternate when we do runs. One time we'll do the HO, the other time the N. So I'm going to get the phone here pretty quick, and I'm going to just start giving you a tour around the place. And then if you have any questions, I'm leaving the my tablet here opened up so I can see. Any comments, questions as we go? Let the train come around one more time, and then I'll park it, and then we'll start doing the tour. Here it comes. So that gives us 2 full hours of run tonight. That's pretty good. This engine's done a great job. The train is tracked well. I haven't had any issues, so I'm pretty content with all of it. All right, let's slow her down here. What with all those metal wheels, it sure gets noisy in here. I can't wait to get the foam road bed down. I use Woodland Scenic's foam road bed versus the cork. Makes the noise a lot less. The N scale is all done with foam road bed. So that's, and I've run engines back and forth, and it is really quiet. So we will be doing, tomorrow with the track down, we will be doing testing back and forth like we've been doing. So you'll get to see some engines run there. If you have time, it'd be worth stopping. All right, so I'm going to grab the camera here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the power off to these buildings. They've been running for quite a while. So we'll just go ahead and do that. All right. So I'll try not to give you whiplash moving this around. That's, you don't have to hear my voice. I'm just going to turn the volume down on my upper one. Wrong way. There we go. All right. So here we go. As you saw, this was where we were. This is the curve right here that you couldn't see where the 2 buildings were. These are not going to stay here. It's nice for the running that we did tonight. So they came around here. This is where we're going to have all of these buildings lining up back here with sidings to them. All these lighted buildings. That's a custom built kit bash and full custom built cement plant that I've been working on. So we will be adding that in somewhere. And then this goes back behind my work table, and this is the area I was having a problem with, was right over here. The curve was way too tight, and I couldn't do the 6 axles there, and only do the 4, but now that was a 6 axle, and it ran perfectly. It's run about 4 hours today total, And then here is the jump track that can be removed between the two sides of the room. And we'll be doing that same thing on the N scale. So let's show you the N scale. All right, so here is the beginning of the city right here. These are all 3D printed buildings. This one back here stands about between 18 and 20 inches tall, and this is about 16 inches right here. Where's my car at? Oh, here it is. I'll give you an idea of height. There's the car next to it, so they get an idea of how tall that is for N scale. So, and here's my elevated track right here. I'll be making this a double track. I'm going to do the other part, move this down, and make the other part right there. I've got an order from a fellow who wants me to build one for him that's a reversing loop. So when I start working on his, I'll be working on mine at the same time and get this all finished up. This is all coming out of here. This is not going to work anymore because right here, the building we build tomorrow, this is where the big building tomorrow that we're going to be putting together, the skyscraper, the 40-story skyscraper is going to go right here. It's going to stand up to about right here. Earlier today, if you were on the live stream earlier today, we showed you the station that we're going to print. That's going to go right here. This is all going to be above using something similar to this, these I-beams right here. So you can see we've already got a lot of this scenic. This is all carved foam. We've done all these videos before. You can find them back in the live streams and in the regular videos. I showed how to carve this and how to paint it and get the light highlights, dark highlights. Down here, this past weekend, we were working on this. Here's all the road bed that we've been dealing with. As you can see, I try to keep that center area open and clear right here so you have the dirt and everything in there. This area right here is going to be the overpass that comes over. We'll have that finished up. So this will have the overpass with, this is kind of like horseshoe curve. We're going to have an area right here for rail fans. There'll be a parking area, fence here to guard against the tracks, and then we'll have a picnic area right here, and we'll have a bunch of people. And then the overpass will come over. Obviously, Horseshoe Curve doesn't have the overpass, but we're going to have the overpass come over. So that, this right here, so this corner will be done, and that corner will be done. And then this comes on around, and this is some of the track that we will be putting down tomorrow, all through here. I'm going to stop at about right here tomorrow because I don't know exactly how much of this I have to cut to make my curve to come across the jump. I found my joist hangers in my dad's collection. Hang on a second, we got a question here. Why are those little tanks so expensive? 85 bucks to $200 in an engine. Cool, I guess not for me. Yeah, they can be expensive, but if you go to train shows, you can find, and there's train shows everywhere. You can find really good deals on engines. I don't think I've spent more than $30, $40 an engine, occasionally a little more than that, unless it was a gift. I don't know how much gifts were, but I buy everything from the train shows or off of Facebook Marketplace. For example, this right here, all this track is normally in the hobby shops. N scales around $6 to $7 a section. HO's $8 to $9 a section. I've never spent more than $1 a section. I buy it used and I recondition it. And all that takes is taking 600 grit sandpaper and smoothing and just sanding it all smooth and getting it all reconditioned. And then I come in here and I paint all the ties and make it look all nice and uniform. So for a little bit of time, you can save a whole lot of money. So that's how that works. So, okay. So anyway, to skyscraper here. That's the one we're doing tomorrow. We've already got the station. We've already got the next skyscraper picked out that's going to go right here. It's going to be almost 30 inches tall like the other one. Then we're going to put another skyscraper here, and then we're going to put probably 2 or 3 all along here. This whole area is going to be skyscrapers all along here until they'll start getting smaller and smaller, and then we'll head into condominiums, townhouses, apartments, and then down into industry right over here in this area. Back here will be our change out module area where we can change out our industries. So that's what we've got right there, I think. Let me see here. So yeah, so here's the track that's pre-painted. This is what we're putting down tomorrow. So it will be, like I said, it'll be starting from right here and coming around. I really want to make this nice and smooth so that we can I don't have to worry about derailments underneath my buildings. Says I'm going to start one soon. Well, good. I hope you do. It's a fun hobby to be in. So we'll be doing the review of these. These are my in-scale that I bought at Menards. Construction vehicles. We're going to put this in our concrete plant in the open pit mine. Here are some of the cars that we have put videos up already. This is all the weathering that I've done. Graffiti, more weathering, weathering on top. You can see all the weathering we do on there. Painting the graffiti is what we're going to be doing on Sunday, showing how to do that. So we'll be having that coming pretty soon. Oh, well, it's back in there. I can't. Let's see. I'll show you one of the HO graffitis, but I pulled the train too far in. So, but that you'll see it on Sunday. So that's where we are. So let me step back so you can get an overall view of everything. I'll get back to the door so you can see what kind of a space I'm dealing with, so you can see how much you can put into a small space. Okay. Hang on. There. Okay, so that roughly is 6 foot by 9 foot. And we are packing an absolute empire in scale into that. And down below we'll have a really nice operational HO. I did a cost analysis of everything that we did here. Everything, bottom all the way up, both levels, all the construction material, all the foam, all the PLA filament, everything that we have to this point, track, everything you see here has not cost us more than $400. That's everything, and just the time to do it. And this has only taken us to get to this point 4 to 6 months, somewhere in that area. Most of it's been done in the past 2 to 3. In fact, probably 2 months to get, within the past 2 months to get all of this scenic and everything in, and most of everything printed that you see over here. So that's, as you can see, that's fast and cheap. And it's, even though it is, it's coming out looking really, really nice. I'm really happy with it all. Again, like the dirt here, this is sand from Menards, the tube sand that you can buy this time of year that you put in the back of the truck vehicles for weight for ice. All of this sand, I've got a bag downstairs, was $3.70, and I'll be able to do the entire layout, both HO and N-scale for that bag. So it's really nothing to it. This road bed here, brand new, I bought a case of it for $9. So I've done pretty much all of this with one case, and I've got pieces left to be able to wrap up the upper loop. So that's, let me take a look here if there's anything else I wanted to show you. Oh, this is what we're gluing tomorrow. Here is part of the skyscraper. Here is more of the skyscraper there. And we've got more pieces in the other room. We'll have this table pulled out. I'll have my wax paper down, and we'll be doing, I'll give you an idea of how big this is, if you haven't seen the videos up to this point so far. Here is the PLA glue that I use. Is the Bond-Rite stuff. We've got 2 bottles of it ready to go. All right, so let's see here. This is the top of the big in-scale building. We've reconfigured this. There'll be a new version of this, but it's basically the same thing. So here is the main part of the building. I'll get that little in-scale car, and I'll lay it on its side so you can get an idea. Okay, so there. So that gives you an idea of, now, and that's just like the main part of the building. Then you have all of these sections here. There's 2 sections of this that go down below, plus a single section here, and then that on top. So it's a big building. So we will be doing that whole build tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Won't take too long to put it together, and when we're done with that, we'll go up to the track. So then after I get the track down up here, we are going to be going down here, and I'm going to work the second main line in. I'm going to take and put a second track where this engine is sitting right here. That's the Santa Fe that I was talking to somebody else about just a little while ago. Second main line is going to come back here. We're going to do some swapping of tracks, bring one in a little tighter, and then the 2 tracks will come all the way across, and then I've got to add a little bit of wood right here out, and then I'll swing the two right back here and back around, and then there'll be a siding off this back track into those industries, probably starting about right here, running back into all those industries we're going to line up for Menards. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, awesome tips. So thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So just stay with us. If you want to see how this goes, we're going to have lives virtually every day, live streams virtually every day, and we're going to be working on something every day, bringing something new to the layout every day. I just want to get this everything operational. My goal is within 1 full year is to, so I've got about another 6 months to go. I'm going to try to have the entire in-scale part almost completely done, except for maybe painting a few of the big skyscrapers, and I'll have most of the HO done. So like within a year and a half from the start, we'll be done. Because when we get done with that, upstairs in the attic, I've got the whole other end of the attic that I can use, that we're going to be putting a dog bone in scale in, and it's going to be, in comparison to this up here, it's going to be huge. I'll be able to put ore docks and huge ADMs up there. I instead of just a 6-foot wall, 9-foot wall, 6-foot wall, I'll have approximately a 15-foot wall, a 9-foot wall, and a 12-foot wall. And that'll be the dog bone, and probably a reversing loop up there with some point-to-point stuff. So that's all coming. So get this done, and then I'll start. I'm actually probably going to start working on the bench work this winter up there, so that when I have this layout, these two layouts done here, I can move straight up there and start working on that, because I've got so many projects I want to work on up there. We have the one printer right now, the one 3D printer right now. We've been showing the prints. We've been doing some 3D printing videos, so if you didn't see those live, we've got those on there. So on the live section. So we're going to be getting a second printer fairly soon, because these things right here, this took, all of these components right here took about 3 days to print with everything. So if we can get a second printer, that'll knock that down in half. That'll be a lot better, so that when I'm trying to do big areas of a city, I can have stuff done inside a week. So that's the goal. So there's all the landscaping materials. There's the blast furnace. I don't know if you can see it too well. I don't have a lot of light up there, but that's an in-scale blast furnace that was completely printed on the 3D printer. And eventually I'll probably get its own, it'll get its own module over here in the corner shelf that I can drop in and out, and I can do some of the coil cars and all those kind of things moving in and out of that. So that's a really neat project up there. So we'll get that taken care of here sometime in this next year. So that's, let's see, is there anything else? Again, $400 for everything you've seen here. That's all it is. All the bench work, everything. I even factored in buying a little power pack. The only thing I didn't factor in was buying the 3D printer. It was everything else. But the 3D printer, if you figure out how much we've saved in money on buildings, it's come out to being virtually free. Well, it has come out to being free, basically, because just buying this from some of the custom builders, this would have cost me probably $200 or $300 to buy this kit. And then I had to put it together myself or kit bash it, and especially that big back one back there, even though the background building. So I've already saved my money just in printing, 3D printing, versus if I'd had to go that way. So you just have to, if you're not familiar with 3D printing, there's great tutorials online. We had to learn everything ourselves. There was a lot of stuff, and we've gone over it when we actually showed the 3D printing. We've had to learn about plate temperatures, print head temperatures, cooling fan speeds, all that kind of stuff, but it's all up there for you. So if you just take your time, you can get there. So like I said, let me see if I can, where are those pieces? Oh, here they are. So here is, I'm going to weather this, probably one on a live feed next week. This is going to be the overpass that comes here. Let me get these out of the way. These are used for getting the ballast off the track when I'm working. So this goes across right here, like that. You see that? So when we have our camera down here, we're doing filming. It's going to look great coming under the overpass right here, the 3 trains. So that's going to be a really fun thing to do. So we'll get this finished next week or the week after. We'll do it while we're finishing up track and ballast. Like I said, I've probably got about 20 hours of ballasting left to do just from here, for the 3 main lines from here all the way around to here. Now, the jump track's not going to be ballasted, but I am going to paint all the track, and I'll paint the road bed just to make it look uniformed. But I just not going to go the ballast route with that, because there's going to be so many times this is going to change over here, because I've actually have to put eventually 5 to 6 tracks on this jump track to be able to get these tracks from here on inclines up to the pink level, and then also secondary inclines to get us up to the elevated track level. So this whole area will be constantly under a state of change. So there's no point in putting ballast down on that kind of stuff. All right, let's see. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. So in the morning, I'm going to prep this area right here, so I'm all set to go. So when we hit 2 o'clock, we will just start on this immediately and then head to that. So it'll probably be a 2 to 3 hour live session tomorrow, and it'll just be nothing but work. I'll have the camera set right here, aiming down on the thing, so I'll have the table pulled out so you can just watch as I do this. So I'll be putting the front pieces of the front, so I'll be putting the front sections together, and I'll be putting the 2 side sections together, and then gluing all of that together, and then creating all the base pieces down here. So that we'll start with that, but that won't take any time. This Bondtech glue right here for the PLA takes about 2 minutes, maybe 1 to 2 minutes for it to set and be completely dry, and I'll be able to handle this thing and move it around. So we've got all kinds of trim. I'll show you here. This is for the shorter side, but we have trim pieces that go on everything, all up the sides here and there, all the way up. So it's going to be a really pretty building when we get finished with it. So again, thanks for tuning in tonight. And again, if you've enjoyed the run that we did with the engine back here and adding all the cars on and building the train up, and want to see more of that, please like and subscribe so you can just stay following with us. And oh, here's a neat project. I don't know. This is an HO. I'm going to get this finished up. We'll have this running pretty soon. I did a custom GP60. I actually turned it. I cut the standard cab off, and I put a wide cab on it, and I made it a GP60M demonstrator. I'm just missing a clip for the truck in the back. I've just got a next train show I go to, I'll get the clip for it and put a couple of couplers on there, and I'm still trying to find the windows. It was an old company called Run 8. Did the windows for these, and it's really hard to find them, but I will get them. And once I've got the windows, then I'll get this project finished up, and you'll see it out here on the road, on the line here pretty soon. Get a little closer shot of that so you can see what that looks like. So that thing, and I'll get the, I've got all the handrails, I'll get all that put on there. So that was a fun project to build. Oh, yeah, so this will be coming pretty soon onto the layout. It's all finished. That right there is a full-blown custom C44-9W. Well, not W, it's a C44-9B. I took a GP60B nose, put it on here, spliced it on, custom painted the entire cab, decaled it out. I left the air conditioner box, but it's no longer an air conditioner. The vent isn't there. I just like that look, so the handrails will be going up and over it. Then I'll be putting a power chassis under it and get this all wrapped up. So you'll see this up here on the lines is a secondary unit powered behind probably this guy right here. I think that'll look really good with that B unit right there and having that back behind it. That'll make some great color. So we'll have that going. So lots of little things coming. I do a lot of custom work, a lot of custom builds. So we've been doing, this is our, what do you think? So either our 6th or our 7th night of our 7th day of doing live streams. We're hoping to do live stream a day, probably take one day off on Saturdays, but then we'll be back Sundays to do builds for sure. So that's about it. I think we are good. So if you no more questions or comments or anything, we will be signing off. And we will, if you have time tomorrow, drop by and see us sometime in the afternoon. And we'll probably be setting this up and doing a run tomorrow night. So we'll do the build from 2 to 4 or 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock. And then between 5:30 and 6, we'll start the run up, and I'm going to change out, get rid of all these cars right here, and put a whole different batch on for testing. And we'll run those around the layout tomorrow night. And maybe by then, we're going out tomorrow, so maybe by then I'll have a few more of these Menards buildings and we'll line them up so you can see them. So I think that'll do it, and we will, let's see, anything else here? Nope, other comments. All right, well, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Have a good night.